Facebook, and it's just started reading now. So on Instagram, thank you for joining. I can see Dina Zaram. Thank you for being there all the time. Last week we had a little each on YouTube and Facebook. I just want to be sure it's on now. Yeah, somebody just checked for me. It's on now. So thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. As you're joining, please can you help share this? Help share with your Mrs. Jubril. I see you. I see your request. I'll bring you in shortly. I'll bring you in shortly. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. We have a special program today. Please help share with your friends and your contacts. Help share this with your friends and your contacts, and I appreciate that as you do so. Go ahead and share. Just hit the share button and start sharing with your contacts on the Instagram, or you can go to your WhatsApp and tell people we are live now. So just hit the share button and start to share. Let's start sharing. Share. Start sharing. And thank you for doing that. I appreciate you so much. Go ahead and share. I'm still sharing. Share with as many as you can share with. Just go ahead and share. I hope we're all sharing. I hope you are sharing. Yes, I just shared with my contacts now. You may want to quickly go to your WhatsApp and just, I sent the, let me drop the, yeah, somebody just joined now. Thank you so much. Let me quickly drop the link so that people can join us. Let me share the link. Mrs. Jibril, I'm bringing you in now. Are you ready for me? Ready for us? I believe you are ready. Yeah, I'm going live with Mrs. Abimbola Jibril. I already accepted your request to join. Just check your, or let me, I can see the request. It says I have no request. You can ask to join again. Just send your request again. Send your request to join again. Oh, you joined. You're welcome. Let me look at your beautiful face. I can't see your face. Yeah, I can see your face now. Thank you so much. Good to see you. It's been a while. Been a while. Good to see you, Ma. Thank you so much for accepting to be here with us tonight. Thank you. We appreciate you. And I pray that the Lord will continue to strengthen you and uphold you, because I know being here tonight is not an easy thing. I know what the time says back home now. It's past 12 in Nigeria, and you are still awake just to be a blessing to people. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you once, twice, and a million times. Thank you so much. Are you still seeing me on YouTube? Please just check for me. I want to be sure people can see me on YouTube, and thank you on the Facebook. Thank you so much. And so I want to welcome every one of you to this wonderful event today. It's actually let me say it's a timely, very timely program, because today, ironically, happens to be the Breast Cancer Day, and this month, the month of October, is actually dedicated to breast cancer. And with me tonight, I have somebody who is just right to share with us, because she is not just talking as a woman, she is talking as an authority. How do I mean? She is a breast cancer survivor. And so if you are yet to share this video, go and share, because many people feel that people don't survive breast cancer. But I tell you, when God spares somebody's life and she is able to scale through it, then we need to hear from her. So if you are yet to share this video with your friends, just go ahead and hit the share button and share with your friends. So Mrs. Jubril, I welcome you. I welcome you to this wonderful event. Can you please introduce yourself before we go on to what we have to say? Just go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, my name is Mrs. Abimbola Jubril, a 52-year-old woman and a breast cancer survivor. I am still standing. I am a living proof that people survive cancer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope we had that. So please, as we are going on in this program, if you have any question, feel free. Just keep throwing in your question, and I'm sure she is more than ready to answer the questions. So as we go on, well, you have heard about our guests. Many of you know me, but some people don't know me. So it is just normal for me to introduce myself. So probably I should have done that before I asked the guest to introduce herself. But well, somehow, you just have some people know me. I am Coach Lola, and I am the founder of Wise and Well Consulting. And at Wise and Well Consulting, we help and encourage plus size women to love their bodies and pursue health and happiness without any guilt. So the guest we have tonight is wearing two hats. She's wearing two hats. She's a plus size woman, which gives her all the credentials to be with us tonight. She's a plus size woman and she is a breast cancer survivor. And so thank you, Bakis Raji, for joining. Thank you so much. So before you joined, I was saying, in case you have any question and in case anybody wants to hop in, you want to hop in and join us on this call, maybe to ask questions, or you want to see your beautiful face and just be a part of what we are doing tonight, just send that request to join and I will definitely bring you in. So as we go on, the first thing, we go through some introductory questions. And so can you briefly share your journey from the diagnosis to where you are now? Briefly. We'll have a lot of questions for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back in 2017, August, I was checking my breast myself and I saw this lump, August 2017. Then a week after, I went to the hospital, presented myself, and I had my lumpectomy. The lump was removed, and the doctor took it for histology for a particular process to know if it is cancerous or not. And even all along, I never believed it could be cancer because no one would wish his or herself bad. But unfortunately, about a month after, the doctor called me early that morning and said, "Madam, we need to see today. The result is out, so you have to see me in my office later in the day."
And when doctors start to send messages like that, you are guessing that something is wrong.
So all through the day, I wasn't myself.
Exactly.
I was,
yeah, I can imagine.
What could be the results? Is it a good news? Is it a bad one? So when I got to the hospital around 4, and it was my turn to go to the consulting room to see him in his office, I went inside and, looking from his countenance, I know all was not well. And he said, "Madam, I have bad news. You have cancer." And, there and then I broke down and I started crying. Why me? Why me? Because I looked at myself, my lifestyle. I don't expect to have cancer. So let me put it like that. So from then, after about an hour, he calmed me down and I left the office. I went back home. And that night, I cried myself out up till around 10 p.m. And then I felt, okay, it has happened. What is the way forward? So it is not so easy the way I'm saying it, but I encouraged myself and I took it upon myself to present myself in the hospital back for my mastectomy, and then I started my treatment. And between 2017 and now, I've gone through a lot of treatment. But the good part of it is I am still standing today. I am a living proof that cancer is not a death sentence, that people really survive it. If I have survived it, and so many people around me, which I'm still going to talk about later, then I know anyone out there that is going through it can also survive it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that brief your journey, a brief story, let me say summary of how you have gone from.
Yes.
And somehow I seem to be in the with her at the beginning, and we are still together now. So I know what she's talking about. It's not easy, like some people will say, when you hear when somebody hears maybe your death sentence, you don't start jumping around. You don't start. Yeah, it's easy to be a counselor than to go through it. I know we all say it. You can do it. You can make it. But when it happens, what do you do? That is the point.
Yes,
so
exactly,
I understand. I understand. Thank you so much. It's not. It's not. So then, let me go to the next one. So, can you share a specific incident where you felt the weight of both stigmas simultaneously? When I say both stigmas, and tonight we are talking about like navigating, when trying to say how to navigate double stigma. Double stigma. Most of you saw the flyer. Being a plus size woman is a big one. We are battling that stigma. Many people will say some words to you, especially right from birth. You have gone through a lot from when you were growing up, and now to add salt to your injury, now breast cancer. So can you share with us a specific incident where you felt the weight of both stigmas now as a plus size woman and breast cancer?
Yes, it was during my treatment that I went for a checkup at the hospital where I use, and this particular nurse just said, you these cancer patients. She felt because of my size, she just said, you this woman, you don't really need to spend too much money on yourself. You these cancer patients, you don't really need to spend much money. Just eat good food, because people don't really survive it, especially when they are plus size. They don't really survive it. So don't spend too much money.
That means don't waste your time and don't waste your money.
Yeah, don't waste your time, don't waste your money. You can't survive. You can't live 6 months to a year. You are good to go. You can't survive it. And I said, why? He said, because most people that are plus size don't really survive cancer, because definitely they will have some other underlying illnesses like hypertension, diabetes, and even cancer alone is a devil on its own. So adding this, that she doesn't think I can survive it. I can't live 6 months.
And being like a medical personnel, we have somehow that they know everything.
Has she done my prognosis to know I am not going to survive it? And That was when I was having my chemotherapy.
Mm.
That was early 2018. Somebody that said I cannot survive 6 months in 2018. Look at me today. This is 2023. I'm still standing. And I felt bad that day. I just sat down. Being a Christian, I felt okay. That is our own verdict. That is God's verdict. And I felt, I've seen people that survives it. If it means reducing my weight and doing some other, going extra mile, that I'm going to prove her wrong, that I'm going to survive it. And now, each time I go for checkup, I'll go and greet her and say, Madam, my friend, look at me. This is me that you said will not live 6 months. Over 6 years gone, and look at me. So that your 6 months is over 6 years, and that I'm still counting. I'm not yet ready to go. I'm still counting. So that is one of the incidents. I missed so many.
So many others. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That must have been a terrible experience, you know, for somebody to just conclude you are not gone. Why would she conclude that you're not going to survive it? You know, on this platform, we always tell people that it's not all about your size. Yes, we know that weight can contribute a lot to so many other things. But I always tell people on this platform that we have people who are even slim. If you don't live a healthy lifestyle, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be healthier than a plus size person who is living a healthy lifestyle. So that was sort of terrible, and that confirmed to us that it's like a double stigma, having cancer and being a plus size woman. So yeah, and I know you might still face so many other ones, but if you were able to scale through that one, I know you will scale through the other ones. So let's move quickly to the next question I have for you. And please, our viewers, people who have joined already, if you have questions, keep throwing in your questions now, or just contribute. If you have any question for her, just put it in the chat, and I will definitely ask her to yeah. Thank you, Bookie Blossom, for joining. Thank you so much. So I will definitely ask her to answer your questions, but I have some questions here for her. So while I'm doing that, you can be dropping your own questions too in the chat room. So now we want to look at understanding double stigma. Let's all look at it together. So how would you define the double stigma of being plus size in a breast cancer world? I know you just said a little about it, but can you delve deeper? So how would you define that this double stigma, is it really real? Then when it comes, how do we go about it? How do we handle it?
Yes, this double stigma of plus size and breast cancer is not something that is easy to go about, but I believe it is about determination. When you are determined that being plus size, just like you put it, one can still live healthy life being plus size. And slimmer people too. We have people who are slim that are cancer survivors, and we even have them not
some that died,
not being able
to scale
even
through.
Survive it.
Yeah.
Yes, even not being able to survive it. So it is about your determination, your lifestyle, not allowing people to override you, to stigmatize. You know, when you know your onions, when you know what you are doing, and definitely you'll be able to survive it. Yeah. People really stigmatize. Not only, even I tell people, I said very soon, cancer will be like malaria. That even when you go to the hospital, people don't even know, people don't even stigmatize again. But the moment people see a cancer patient, don't let me say a cancer survivor now, a cancer patient, the moment they know this person has cancer, they begin to believe you cannot live long. They even some that are not well informed believe it is contagious. They don't want to move. Yes, they don't want to have anything to do with you. Yes, they don't want to have anything to do with you. Those are people that are not well informed. But now talking about people who are even in the medical line, people you feel, are educated, are well informed, even stigmatizing. That is very bad.
That's the sad part
because these are people you feel should
educate us.
Serve as, yes, to encourage, to give you secure, to encourage, to pamper you in a way that you even feel relaxed that, okay, I am not alone. I have people, my caregivers around me. But at times you discover there are even the people that are even
the culprits. They are the culprits.
Yes. Yes, they are the culprits. Even the one blowing it out of proportion. Even, believing that, okay, they are in that line, they know much, and when saying such things, the patient, the survivor herself is even half dead, even when she's not dead. Yes, so that is how I understand it. Believing, having determination, knowing your onions, stand your ground, that this thing will not kill me, that I'm going to overcome it. So that spirit of overcoming it.
Do you know I've discovered that as simple as headache is, headache can kill people. Depending on your perception towards life and the state of your mind. That is why we're going to the next.
Yes, your mindset.
Very important. That will take us to the next thing now, which is like
to even help in the healing. Yes.
Yeah.
One's mindset goes a long way to help in the healing and making yourself happy. And as a Christian, the Bible book of Proverbs 17:22 says that joy, happiness is good medicine.
Good medicine.
So making yourself happy, be joyful. I believe it really helps in the healing process. Yes, making oneself happy.
So that takes us to the next thing now. And this is going to be like 2 in 1. I have some people on this platform. And please, if you want to contribute, I want us to really contribute in this part. Now, you said something about the people in the medical personnel being cruel. Let's use that word. Being cruel in their action, in their words. Is it a societal thing or it is a general thing? We have people from different parts of the world on this platform. We have people from the US, and I don't know where else people are joining from. So is it just peculiar to Africa, or it is a general thing all around the world? Then the question now is, I want people in our viewers, I want you to contribute now. Send in your reply if you feel it is a general thing all over, or it is just peculiar to some part of the world. So now we're talking about the emotional impact, like what you said lastly, that the state of your mind will go a long way in the healing process. So how did the societal perception of plus size individual impact your emotional well-being after this diagnosis? The societal perception.
Okay. The societal perception, just like I've been saying, in this part of the world, people see cancer patients as, they stigmatize, but I want to quickly chip this in that it is not a general thing. It is not a general thing because I really want to appreciate one of my doctors. There is I call him my angel. He's an angel, and he's giving you treatments goes beyond the four walls of his office, of his consulting room. He has this kind of follow-up.
That is your support system. Your support system.
Yes, my support. Yes, he has this kind of follow-up on his patients, and it is not only me. That is what I have noticed. It is not only me, because even as we speak, if you call on Dr. Katong, that doctor, I forgot the time I had my surgery, but I knew it was in December. He will tell you that it was so dates. And when you get to his office, he is not always in a hurry to let you go. He's ready to listen. He has a listening ear. He's ready to listen. He will listen to you for you to say everything on your mind, whether it is related to your treatments or anything. He's ready to listen.
Yes,
he will listen.
Unburden.
Yes, you to pour out your mind. Even if you want to cry, he will pet you. He will allow you to say everything. And by the time you are going out of his office, you are a better person than the way you come in. And to the extent that he even pays for people's treatments when they are unable to pay. So his treatment, this kind of a thing has an effect on my emotion. Because each time I'm going to the hospital and I know I'm going to see him, I feel so relaxed.
Lifted.
And yes, the fear, he will allay your fear when you get to him. He's ready to listen to you. He will follow up. He will call you. And, just like a family member, just like a brother, that bond, there is that bond between him and almost all his patients. And so when he was leaving for South Africa, in fact, we were all crying because we know we are really, really going to miss him. So that is one. So that is why I'm not really generalizing. It is not all of them. Yes, we still have very good ones among the doctors.
So what's the percentage?
Let me say it is 70. Okay, let me say 60 to 40. We have the 40 good ones and the 60 bad ones. That's how I can rate it.
That's not bad. That's still good.
Yes,
that's a good one. So
yes.
that's why there's this adage that says, whatever you do, people will always remember you for it.
Yes, yes.
We all don't know that just a little smile can encourage somebody. But when you want to go to the hospital and your head just flies off that I don't know what I'm going to meet there today, then that's a big problem. That's a big problem. It even has I've discovered that when people are going for maybe a checkup or whatever, their blood pressure shoots up because they don't know what they're going to meet there. Yeah, they don't know what they're going to meet there. Wow. So may God continue to give us good medical personnel, because we cannot run away from going to the hospital, even though we know we do a lot of preventions, a lot of natural stuff, but we still have to go to the hospital for diagnosis and for some other things. So may God continue to give us good ones. This doesn't have much to do with cancer, but I remember my mom had an experience when she had my immediate younger sister, so that you will know that this thing has been on for a very long time. My immediate younger sister should be How old is she now? She's 47 now. She's 47 now. So you can imagine what I'm talking
Yes.
about. She said what my mom said when she was to have her, that being the fifth child, she was a fifth child. So my mom knew, she wasn't a first timer. My mom knew that this baby was coming. And she was calling on the nurse that, nurse, please, this baby is coming. But just because, and I took after her, just because she doesn't display, she doesn't shout. So the nurse said, my friend, who are you to tell us that the baby is coming, that we know when the baby is coming? So, and the
It's
nurse just
coming.
left, the nurse left her. And because my mom was experienced, this is not, I'm not a first timer. She got down from the bed because she knew the baby was coming. So she stooped down, like maybe she wanted to poo or something. She would stoop down to support herself. And she said, just as she was getting down, the baby's head just came out. And just as the baby's head came out, then the nurse now came. The nurse now started shouting on my mom that,
Put
you
us
want to
in
put us
trouble.
into trouble? My mom said she was just begging that, I'm sorry, because she said, if I tell her now, but I told you that, well, what if she goes to do something bad on my baby or something like that? She
Yes.
said she was just pleading that, I'm sorry, something like that. So just like you said, we have the good ones and we have the bad ones. May God
Yes.
guide us into the hands of the good ones.
Yes.
So that's the prayer we will
Yes.
pray.
Yes.
So I can imagine what you have really gone through. Now,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
the next one you have already mentioned it. It says, did you ever feel that healthcare professionals treated you differently because of your size? I think you said something like that. Some of them treated you differently. They even said nasty words to you. So let's jump over that. So the next one, were there any challenges you faced in the medical world that you want to attribute specifically to being plus size?
Mm,
Or maybe not specifically, maybe it's just a general thing. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. So whether you are plus
yes.
size or you are whatever, some people are just just like you said, if you are plus size, if you meet a good medical personnel, they are going to be good to you. So that would
Yes, to
just,
you.
yeah. Now the support
So
system. So how important was your support system in helping you to navigate these overlapping challenges? We cannot
yes.
overemphasize the importance of support system. So who are
Yes.
your support system?
Yes.
You just mentioned one of your doctors now. So who are your support, or who are the people in your support system, and how important was that support in helping you to navigate these overlapping challenges?
Yes. In 2018, during one of my um during one of my
Sessions.
time of taking my chemo,
Chemo.
while coming back from the hospital, I took a bus. Okay, a doctor friend took me from the hospital, and another person was in the car with me. Meanwhile, before then, immediately I was diagnosed and I wanted to start my treatment. I told an uncle of mine of my diagnosis, and he said, okay, that there is a place that he saw is a signpost somewhere that says Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria. He said I should go there and find out. So that was where I was enlightened to really meet this surgeon I was talking about that I said has left for South Africa. So while coming back, I was in a car with a doctor friend, a dentist, and this woman were in the bus, the car together. So she said, she's also a cancer patient. She is also a cancer patient. So she said there is a place called Break, and I said I have been there. She said, but they started a group just recently that they call it team survivors. So that they meet once in a month. So fortunately, it is the same place where Brecan members meet. So I was there, and so there I met survivors, only survivors. So about 12 of us that day. That was the second meeting. So I felt, wow. So, having people that you are going through the same thing around you helps. So I say, okay, these are the people that we are passing through the same thing. We are having almost the same challenges. These are survivors. So each time we meet, we discuss what have you been using that has kept you going. So this one will say our own experience. Another person will say our own experience. Okay, this is what I discovered lately. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing. And it has kept me going. And there I met people who are 10 years survivors.
Wow.
5 years survivors. And then I was just less than a year. So I felt, okay, if these people can survive with 5 years survivors, still counting, 10 years survivors, still counting, even Her Excellency then was, I think, about 20 years survival, still counting. But she was diagnosed 1997, and that was 2017, 2018, about 21 years survival. I said, okay, 21 years survival, still counting, definitely. So I make sure I don't miss that meeting. And each time I go there, we discuss, we share experiences, you share ideas, and from there, I was able to get this psychosocial support there. Then from Brecan, I also have this support because the doctors, Brecan is not for survivors alone. It's to create awareness, public advocacy, patient support. And so there I meet doctors who are really keen about taking care of survivors. And so when they know that like cancer survivor, they are ready to assist in any way you want. So that is another one. Then I have support from my family members because in this my journey, I've seen people who went into depression because their family members neglected them. Even as a mother, I've seen people whose children ran away from them. Yes. And even that alone, some of them died. I knew that it wasn't cancer that really killed them.
It's depression.
It was depression.
Yeah.
That look at the children, look at my children, my biological children. So if a woman, the children ran away for her, then if other people are stigmatizing or running away, we cannot really blame them much. So, and I have people whose husbands left them, not just neglect, left them and married another woman because the woman has cancer. But all these I have really enjoyed from my family members, my siblings, my mother. My mother was living with me when I was diagnosed, an aged man of over 80. But the moment she knew, she really gave me support and started pampering me as a baby.
Yeah.
So then I got support from my husband, emotionally. Even just like you put it, me saying, Bele, how are you? Sorry. Even sorry alone.
It goes a long way.
Yes, would suit you is like a soothing balm. Yes, sorry. How are you feeling? Searching you. How are you feeling? Oh, sorry. How are you feeling now? Won't you mind to stand up and eat a little? Won't you mind to, all those words goes a long way from your children, from your husband, from people around you. So these are ways where I've really gotten support from Team Survivors Nigeria, from Brecan, from my siblings, from my husband, and I have a friend very close to me that she's always there. And of course, you, Coach Lola, you were there for me then. You were there for me. So I got support from everyone. Let me say everyone, from most people around me. You know, also there are some people that stigmatize them, but I didn't look at them because I'm focused. I'm focused.
You know, there's an aspect we did not mention, and I want us to talk about it. Because when you talk about breast cancer, you talk about, everybody feels my world is collapsing, my world is down, is gone. Many of us don't know that Mrs. Abimbola Jubril that we are talking to today is a teacher. She's a teacher. She's been a teacher before this happened, and she's still a teacher. So, how have you been able to? This is actually not part of the questions I have for you, but just as you were talking, it just came to my mind that, okay, you have actually gone through a lot and you are still on your job doing very well in your professional job. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How you are able to combine all these things together, the stress you're going through, the support in the school or whatever. Just tell us a little bit about it.
I am a teacher. And when I was diagnosed and I had to start my treatments, especially the chemotherapy, I'll be taking it every 3 weeks. And it will, my doctor, Dr. Kasson that I talked about, educated me about it, that this thing is you just have to, that I must try and do it, because cancer is a bastard, is a devil on its own, and chemo too is a devil. So that I'm in between the devil and the deep blue sea. So but it is better I do my chemo. That everything I feel I'm going to lose, that I will get them back. My hair will go, my color will change, I will look lean, I will look somehow. Even some people will say you look like a monkey. And that was what my husband first said, that you cannot go for chemo. And people told him that anybody going for chemo, people will be running away from her. She will look like a monkey. Your children will be running away from you. So you cannot just go for it. But I just felt, after I've been educated, after I've been informed by my doctor, I felt, if I want to be the mother of these, my 4 boys, because I have 4 boys.
Yes.
If I want to be their mother, that it is better I go for my treatment.
People are giving you, they are giving you love in the chat room. If you can see, they are sending love to you.
I can see it, yes. On their celebration day, I want to tie my gele.
Yes.
So I want to sit down and be there for them. They were still young then. Yes, my first child was just a bit less than 20. I said I have to be there for them. So I decided to present myself for this treatment. I went for it, and I had to confide in my principal then that, okay, mommy, this is what I'm going through. I'll be going for my treatment, but don't worry, I will make up for any of my missed lessons. Then there is this lady I told you about just now, that she's a friend. I confided in her too. So each time I'm not around, she will stand in for me. So I'll go for my treatments. 3-4 days after chemotherapy, I will not be able to eat. I will feel dizzy. I'll be feeling nauseated. But I still have to go to work because my husband works outside Ondo State. So I'll drop the children, go to school, manage to drive down to school. But I'll just sit in my car, relax my seat, and if I go for my lessons, just go back to the car. And all my hair gone.
Yeah.
My color changed. But since my doctor has already told me,
you turned black.
Yes,
all your nails,
I'm going
everything.
To expect.
Yeah.
Yes, all my fingers, my fingertips turned black. Yeah. My tongue, even the day I discovered my tongue was black, I didn't even know. Yeah. I was in the class teaching when a student ran to me, mommy, 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 something is on your tongue. Your tongue is very black. Your tongue is very black.
Wow.
I said, okay. I said, yes, I licked something before I came down. That's I don't know it's still on my tongue. So I just rushed up the class and I ran to the car and I looked from the mirror and I saw that my whole tongue was black.
Wow.
I said, okay. These are part of the things Dr. Katon told me I will experience, yes. So shortly before then, I had to cut my hair. I cut my hair. So I bought wigs. I started using wigs. So when my hair left, I don't have anything on my head. I was using wig. And people will say, no, when I cut my hair, they say, why did you cut it? I say, I just want to be pouring water.
Yeah, you cut it, head. You cut it to prepare. Yeah.
Yes, I know what was coming. So before I started my treatments, I cut my hair.
Yeah.
So I was on low cuts for some time. So they already know me with low cuts. So when I started using wig, they said, when you know that you want to be using wig, so you still love to do your hair, you went to cut your hair. I said, yes, I don't want to look the same every day. That is why I'm using my wig. And so when I'm in the class, I will just manage. And when I get to the car, I will feel so hot. You know, the heat from inside. Also, I was already approaching menopause then, and all these hot flashes, all those things. So I will remove my wig. Then I'm in the car. In the moment I hear any footstep beside my car, I'll quickly put the wig. So and I'll go to the class, come back home as a mother, still take care of my children. But my mother was there to really, really assist me. So I was able to manage my 6 courses because I took 8. I took 6 courses of chemo. So I was able to manage it, go to the class, teach. A friend that teaches, I teach French. So we are only 2 in the school. So the other lady, I will just tell her I'm not feeling fine. Though she didn't know it was bad, but I will just say I'm not feeling fine. And she will help me to write the lesson notes. But I will go to the class, I will manage and teach till I finished. And my principal was supportive because all through, even when we have inspectors, she will tell them I took permission. So I was able to teach. Then one other thing is, it is true that people stigmatize, but I just felt after my treatment and I was okay, I felt it. I owe people around me. I owe them that
explanation.
I owe them. I have to tell them so that my life will inspire
a blessing to them.
So, yes. So I owe them that. So anytime I have the opportunity or I hear anybody talking about breast cancer or something, I'll just call you. So you are talking about breast cancer. Do you have somebody that has breast cancer? And say, I have somebody, this and that. I'll say, why don't the person do this, do this, do this? You say, share money. Do you know about it? I will say, yes, I am a survivor. Wow. You are a survivor. Wow. And you are looking like this. If you don't tell anybody, nobody will know. I said, yes. That is why I'm telling you that person, let the person present early. I said early detection saves life. I said there are so many people I met that detected early, but they did not present themselves to the hospital early, and they did not take their treatment promptly. I said I detected early, and I presented myself early, and I took my treatment promptly. I said that is what has been helping me, and that is what has helped me that you are seeing me. I said, so anyone you know. And to the glory of God, between that time and now, I've been able to address my colleagues, most of them, like the cancer survivors. So if you have anybody around you, let them do this, let them do this. And even my husband, if he goes out and he has anybody saying anything about breast,
I think that's a network each. That's a network each. If you can still hear me, that should be a network each all the way from our own dear city, Nigeria. She's talking from Nigeria. How many of you have been so blessed? You've been so blessed by her testimony. You've been so blessed by what you've heard. Just send, like I've been seeing some emojis. I've been seeing some emojis in the chat room. Send some more emojis. We lost her. I guess she will rejoin. She will connect. So you can send some more emojis, and I'm sure she will see it. And thank you so much, all of you, for coming. So before she's able to join back, I hope she gets back in. Before she's able to join back, I hope we were able to pick one or two things from what she said. You know, the people that joined early, that started this meeting with us, would be able to tell you that when she started, she said she discovered a lump because she would always check herself. That is to tell you that self-examination is the first and the major thing. Like, I had a meeting with a group of sisters, so I think last week, and we talked about, that's one of the things we talked about, self-examination. You have to self-examine yourself. We always advise that you choose one date. You choose one, preferably your birthday. If your birthday, like my birthday is on the 14th of May, so every 14th of the month, so that you will not forget. So early detection would help. She just discovered a lump. Somebody could have just taken the lump for granted and said, oh, this is just a lump. Maybe it's a boil or something or whatever. She discovered that lump and she did not waste time. She went to the hospital straight, and they took off the lump. They took out the lump and went to do a test on the lump, and they discovered that the lump was cancerous. So if it is detected early, nobody prays to have cancer. But if it is detected early, then we would be able to save ourselves. Thank you. Self-examination is very important. And like I also showed us how to do the self-examination. There are a lot of videos out there. Just Google it. Go on your YouTube, say how to self-examine myself for lumps or the self-examination on your breast. And you know the elephant in the room that many of us don't want to talk about. Many people feel that this is peculiar to women alone. If it is peculiar to women alone, do you know that a lot of men come down with breast cancer? We have a lot of men who have breast cancer. Anybody on the face of the earth that has breast can have breast cancer, even animals, because animals have cancer. It's just because they are animals. That is why many people don't take it serious. But anybody that has breast, because when you talk about cancer, cancer is just a multiplication of the abnormal multiplication of cells in the body. So it is wherever this abnormal multiplication happens, that is the name they will use to call the cancer. If it happens in the breast, they call it breast cancer. If it happens in the prostate, they call it prostate cancer. If it happens in the blood, they call it leukemia, which is a cancer of the blood. If it happens in the eye, they call it cancer of the eye, cancer of the nose, cancer of the liver, cancer of the anything and everything. So please and please and please, it is very important for you to self-examine yourself. Don't just be too busy. Don't be too busy to check yourself. Create time for yourself. Then from what the things we learned from her, even without you having a challenge, we had that community is very important. Community. You may not have a challenge, but you may be able to give strength to people who have challenge. We are relationship beings. God created us to need one another. Nobody can survive alone. So community is very important. You need to build that strong support system for yourself before the trouble happens. Before the trouble happens. And when we talk about community, it can be in all areas, so many areas. It may not be just one community for you. You may have your community, maybe your health group. You may have your intellectual group. You may have your parenting group. You may have your social group. So many groups that you know that will be able to help you to fulfill purpose, will be able to help you those support systems will go along. You may have your prayer group if you are a Christian. That is why even the Bible says we should not neglect the gathering of ourselves together. It goes a long way, because if you stand alone, you're going to fall alone. That is why the Yorubas will say one broom is easily broken, but if it is a bunch, it cannot break easily. Cannot break easily. So community is very key. We had a testimony that she was able to get support from her community. Mrs. Jubril, I hope is she back? I don't think I see her now. Let me see if she's back. But I think, yeah, we should be about rounding off. Do we have any question? Do we have any question? If you have been so blessed and so encouraged, and you know that it is possible to survive cancer, you won't have cancer, but at least you can encourage somebody that it is possible to survive cancer. But most importantly, we always ask that we prevent cancer. It's just because we don't have her till the end of the. I'm sure one of these days will still bring her back. But I know a little bit, not even a little bit. I know so much about her story. You heard when she said that we were there together right from the beginning. At least before I left Nigeria, we were there together. She was always in my house, and I would go to her house. And thank God, God used us to be a support unto her. But one thing I know, one big thing I know, and I shared it with my people, the people I had this conversation with last week. One big thing I know that she never joked with. She didn't stay long enough. Okay, please, ma, post your video on your page. Yeah, so many people who were not able to watch from the beginning. Sure, I will post it. Thank you so much. One thing I know that she never joked with. Before she will go for her chemo, before she will go for her chemo for weeks, somebody is asking to join. Is it Mrs. Jubril? Oh, she's back. Before she will go for her chemo, she would always run herself. She will run herself for a long time. I've accepted your. She would always run herself on aloe vera gel. I know she's almost joining now. I hope she gets in. Yeah. I know one thing she doesn't joke with. She would drink a lot of aloe vera gel before she goes for her chemo. So when she goes for her chemo, she would drink. I know she will talk about it by herself now. Mrs. Jubi, I was talking about your story that you always run yourself on aloe vera gel for so many weeks before you go for your chemotherapy. You say your doctor said chemo is a devil and cancer is a devil. So you had to battle that chemo, that before I go for chemo, okay, let me fortify myself. Tell us more about it.
Yes. Before my diagnosis, I don't know. Because of my plus size, I joined Forever Living Products. I joined Forever, and I started my size. So I was, chemo is my best friend. And when I was diagnosed, that very night, the doctor told me that the histology results that I have cancer. I said, with all I've been taking, after crying, so I just went online again. After looking at the things.
Wow, the network is really not letting us. I think we have to bring her back again. Maybe we should bring her back next week. What do we think? Should we bring her back? I want your comments. Should we bring her back next week? Because it's like the time is, we have actually spent so much time. If you want us to bring her back next week, yeah, I think the network threw her out. If you want us to bring her back next week, let me see in your comment. If you want her to come back, just put in your comments, bring her back, next week, precisely next week, because this month is the month for breast cancer. So we can still have her one more time before the month runs out. So how long does it take her to overcome, ma? I don't understand that question. Can you be more explicit? Please be more explicit. There's a question on Instagram that says, how long does it take? Oh, somebody said bring her back. Thank you. So if you want us to bring her back, let me see our comments. If you want us to come back next week, that is to tell you, you're going to promise that you will tell everybody in your circle that you just listened to a breast cancer survivor and she's coming back next week. If you promise that, put in the chat, bring her back, bring her back. Let me see. I see just one, bring her back. If you want me to bring her back, or if you want us, it's a community. And let me also tell us about my community on the Facebook. My community on the Facebook, you may want to be a part of that community. It's called Lola Nation. Lola Nation. So in that community, you have a very strong support system. It's a plus size community. So you feel free to join. Feel free to join. Okay, this is Mrs. Jubril. She has another. Mrs. Jubril. Yes, many people said bring her back. So if you want us to bring her back, I don't think it's the platform. I think it's the network back home. It's a network back home. Mrs. Jubril, let's just, she's trying to join with another Instagram, whatever. But just like we said, bring her back. Let's just allow her to go. I think the network is not doing too good tonight. So if you have a question, quickly, let's put our questions in. If you want us to bring her back, put in the chat. I'm still waiting for your chat. We're rounding off now. Bring her back, bring her back. So next week, precisely Thursday, what's that date? Can you please check that date for me? Thursday next week. So she will be back here live. She'll be back here live next week, Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 25th. 26th of, I'll send the flyers out. So we're bringing her back next week, Thursday. That's 26th of October. So we'll have Mrs. Jubril, Mrs. Abimbola Jubril, once again as our guest here. So if we don't have any question, all my people on YouTube, on Facebook, yeah. Oh, thank you. We had a thumb up on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's just that they did not get to see the face of our guest. Well, I will work on that. I'll work on that next week. Before next week, I promise I will be able to see. You'll be able to see the face of our guest. So on this note, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being a part of this wonderful event today. Remember, what we looked at today is navigating double stigma. Navigating double stigma. Mrs. Jubril, we are rounding off now. They said we should bring you back. We should bring you back next week. So you are coming back next week. Let's allow you to go and rest. It's past 1 now in Nigeria. Please go and rest. We appreciate you so much. And we pray as a community, we pray that God will continue to strengthen you and God will perfect your health in Jesus' name. You will not see corruption. The Lord that has kept you all these years, I know He is still there on the throne and He will yet keep you. So next week, we're going to have you. Let's release you. We love you. People, if you love her, send love emoji in the chat. Send it to her now. Let's send the love emoji to her so that she will know that we love her. We love her so much. We love you so much, ma. God will bless you and keep you for us. So send the love emoji. Send it. Let it rain. Let it flow. See you next week. Yeah. So We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. We release you to go and sleep.
Yes, and get ready for work.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Thank
Wow,
you.
wow, that's a big,
Yes.
it's a big sacrifice.
Is it tomorrow? Okay, let me go and get ready for work.
Today,
This morning.
yeah, in
This
few,
morning.
in few hours, in few hours.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your sacrifice. See, the emojis are going. The emojis are going. They're sending it to you. Let's release you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we'll see you next week. And to all our guests, thank you so much for being a part of this. Yeah, bring her back. We're bringing her back next week. And I promise that I am going to tag all of you. That was why you saw me writing when I'm going to tag all of you so that people can see this video on your platforms. And to my people on YouTube and Facebook, I promise that next week is going to be a lot better. You're going to see the face of our guests. Today we were not able to. I think it's the connection. It's a connection thing, but we will work on it. We'll work on it by next week. And I said we are learning. It's a new thing to. Technology is new to most of us, so we are still learning. So I want to say a big thank you. Thank you so much. I see a question, but I really don't understand that question. You may want to ask that question personally. Say, how long does it take her to overcome? She's been on it now for, I think she's 7 years now. She's 7 years on it because it started in 2017. What's 2017 till now? 2017, almost 7 years now, almost 7 years. She started her treatment. She had the whatever in 2016. 2016, she said that was when she saw the lump. And you will see, I think her story, we started with her story. It's going to be in the video. I'll drop the video immediately after now, so you can go back and listen. And please help share this video to somebody to encourage them. So on this note, I want to say thank you once again. And this is coming from Coach Lola at Wise and Well Consulting. Thanks once, twice, and a million times. See you next week.